Hello, everyone. This is a surprise live session. A lot of SET exams have been declared. After NET, everybody is now excited about the upcoming SET exams. At TEST, we have started coaching for several SET exams. More rapid courses are beginning. Meanwhile, Telangana SET is coming in a few days. Many of you are preparing for it. Even if you are not preparing for it, looking at the question paper and talking about a strategy will help all of you. So here I am talking to you about the previous Telangana SET and our strategy for it. Guys, there is a very good thing about Telangana SET. What is that good thing? The good thing is that it is easy, not as difficult as you think. And another good thing about Telangana SET is that it has some predictable areas. For example, linguistics ELT, surely they're asking. Criticism and theory, surely they're asking. So, guys, like this, if you look at the previous question papers of your SET exam, you will understand that you can identify certain areas and study those areas in more detail. That is what we are doing in our courses also. Another wonderful aspect of Telangana SET is that there is a beautiful mix of easy questions and confusing questions. All questions are not confusing. Even if some questions are confusing in the exam, do not be disheartened because there are a lot of easy questions also. So all this gives us a lot of hope. And here I'm sharing the question paper with you. Guys, it is available in internet, Telangana SET question paper. There are 5 questions in English part that are prose comprehension. 5 questions are poetry comprehension. I'm not going into that because that is easy. And if you read carefully, you will be able to answer them for sure. So let us leave that out. The comprehension questions. Now, as you know, from Team TEST, Hina has been doing videos for various SET exams. So this Telangana SET question paper also has been covered to a great extent. Today, this video or live session that we are doing is not to look at the correct answers, but to largely look at the question paper analytically to find out what areas are very important and how to prepare these areas to develop the strategy. Which of the following inspired Thackeray to get his title for Vanity Fair? So one important thing, titles of books, classics that is, and what is the source of this book? What inspired this book? Such questions are important from history of English literature. All of you would know this is Pilgrim's Progress. Look at the world classics when you prepare for NET. The classics from British literature and also non-British literatures, including European literature. Most important authors, most important works. There, Some expected questions will be there that you should study. Look at the next question. It is based on restoration drama. William Congreve, George Etheridge, William Wycherley, Thomas Otway. There are some statements given about them. You have to identify the correct statement. Some are outright wrong statements. All of them were critics of Orwell's regime. Absolutely wrong. All of them edited Shakespeare's plays. Absolutely wrong. Look at the first options. They were all restoration dramatists. So, like that, easy options and difficult options are mixed. Easy. Don't worry. To whom are Shakespeare's sonnets dedicated? The stars. James I, Mary Arden, and unknown Mr. W.H. This is also an easy question. Shakespeare is an expected author these days. There was a time in SET and NET when Shakespeare questions were not there. But these days in NET as well as SET, Shakespeare questions are there. And it can be easy or difficult. Wait, look at this. Here, who described modernism as being concerned with disenchantment of our culture with culture itself? Disenchantment of our culture with culture itself. That is a statement made by, you are wondering, who is it? Who talked about culture? Is it Stephen Spender or Malcolm Bradbury? Is it Lionel Trilling or Matthew Arnold? Definitely Matthew Arnold talked about culture, but answer is Lionel Trilling. Lionel Trilling is an important critic. When you study important critics, I have always told you this before, you have to look up important quotes from these critics. Disenchantment of our culture with culture itself. That is an important quote from Lionel Trilling. Will you remember, guys? That is very, very important. Okay. Lionel Trilling wrote about culture. So this question should prompt us to look up Lionel Trilling, important essays and works. And also, guys, the major excerpts and quotes. Guys, next question. Which of the following describes the notion of fluency in language most appropriately? Now, this is an English language question. Remember, in SET and NET, there are many English language questions. You don't have to think very much. You are just expected to read the question like that. And that too from ELT also. ELT is a very important area in Telangana SET. About Aujitya, they've asked a question that's a little confusing. What are the features of Aujitya? Decorum, propriety, proportion, accuracy. The confusion is because decorum and propriety are more or less the same thing. But when I Google searched, I found that Aujitya is also about proportion. Actually, 1, 2, and 3 seem to be right. That is the problem here. If you know that 1, 2, and 3 are right, and for sure, and you don't see such an option, then go for at least 2. Don't say only 1. 1 and 3 you should choose, I think. Did you understand? And then maybe contest it. Who is the author of Practical Criticism? Remember, guys, this is, of course, an easy question. Everybody knows it's I.A. Richards. But in KSET or WBSET or other SET exams, of course, Rajasthan SET, Maharashtra set, all these are coming up. JK set is coming up. Question from new criticism will be there. New criticism is a sure short area. But the question may not be very simple. Who first claimed that every human being was born with a language acquisition device? This is very famously associated with Noam Chomsky. When you study thoroughly. Is it just associated with Noam Chomsky, or was it Noam Chomsky who really developed this idea? Like that, think and study. Okay, sometimes the questions are deep, I'm telling you. So again, ELT linguistics. Antigone is a tragic character created by, that is easy. Antigone is part of Oedipus trilogy. Oedipus's daughter, she is Antigone. So that is easy. Now, again, 17th century dramatists, Restoration period. Once already they asked. Restoration period, very important. Victorian period, very important. Modernist period, very important. New criticism, very important. Like that, many times they're asking only authors and works. And chronology also are not so difficult. The questions in chronology, if you know the authors and works, they are not very close together. It is easy to answer sometimes. Luigi Pirandello is a favorite. He is European. He is a favorite. What are the works of Luigi Pirandello? Definitely examination of the relationship between actor and character is there. 4 is there. Is it 1 and 4 or 2 and 4? Luigi Pirandello did not write naturalism. He wrote in a very postmodern manner. So they are only like basic questions, to be frank. Assertion reason questions are also sometimes simple, but you have to read very carefully. I'm not going over every question and answering because Hina has already done it. I hope you have been watching those videos. Even if you are not writing Telangana SET, even if you're writing other SET exams, please follow all our videos. It will help you in other SET exams also. Assertion reason questions are mostly language questions, English language questions. You can just read and you will understand. Did you understand? And again, they have given pastoral elegies and they're asking for whom did the pastoral elegy come? Which person is mourned? That is easy. And then there are works by movement poets, anthologies of movement poets. It is there. Many of these questions are there in our encyclopedia. If only you get encyclopedia, you will know most of these questions easily. In our YouTube live free classes also, it is covered. So it is DJ Enright and Robert Conquest. You might know this one. That is actually a simple direct question. Dash is the tragic flaw or error that reverses protagonist's fortune from good to bad. That is hamartia. Easy criticism question it is. So mostly English, British literature, but criticism questions are there. Linguistics, ELT questions are there. Remember, when you see previous questions, who wrote Saint Simeon Stylites? If you don't know that, you should immediately look it up. Here, which are the true dramatic monologues written by Robert Browning? That is the question. My Last Duchess, Fra Lippo Lippi, easy. Then, chronology question is there. Hard Times, Pride and Prejudice, Vanity Fair, Mrs. Dalloway. I told you, Pride and Prejudice is Jane Austen romantic period. Hard Times is Charles Dickens. Mrs. Dalloway is modern period. If you know these three, you will be able to guess easily. You don't have to know exactly the same year. The year of publication, you don't have to know. Which of the following words used in the novel Passage to India best captures E.M. Foster's portrayal of a restive India? Guys, many of these questions in Telangana SET can be answered if only you study Spark Notes, Wikipedia, etc. In Passage to India, a very important symbol is the muddle of India. When I teach that as well. Muddle of India. Muddle is the answer. Chinua Achebe is a short author from post-colonial writers. And Hills of the Savannah is set in a fictional West African state called Kangan. That is very important. Kangan, remember, is very important. Right. Next question, they go. There is a comprehension question again. Remember, guys, in SET and NET exams, you should expect more than one comprehension question. It's very, very important. Comprehension means you have to get practice reading. From Bodhi publications, we have brought out an excellent reading comprehension book. If you just Google search, you can find it. It's only like 100 rupees or 150 rupees or something. We have included several passages. And these passages, if you practice, you will really do well in the comprehension question. Okay, and it has to do with editing, proofreading, etc. Okay, then inconsistency of editing. So how do you do it? We have to get practice reading. That is the thing. Language is a set of habits, the purpose of which is to give expression to thoughts and feelings. Remember, guys, language is a set of habits is behaviorism. Definitely, Noam Chomsky will not say that. Noam Chomsky is not a behaviorist. So many questions are easy because you can eliminate some options. You know, the technique of elimination you can do if you have some general knowledge. That is very, very important. Here the answer is auto, yes, person. Again, grammar translation method. Basic questions from ELT are there. Basic as well as some challenging questions. Grammar translation method. Technicist approach. Guys, there are so many previous SET question papers in the internet. Even if you are not writing Telangana SET, please follow these question papers. Follow our YouTube videos where we are following these question papers. Because technicist approach, even if you don't know it, because you have looked up PYQs, you will be able to study it. Many times, SET question paper setters of one state might look at other state previous questions. Remember that. Another ELT and linguistics question. Which of the following approaches in the classroom teaching method is built around the coordination and speech and action? ELT question. Then heretics is a collection of essays. Now non-fiction questions are there. Non-fiction writers always asked in exams. G.K. Chesterton, E.V. Lucas. These options will give you the guideline what to study. In these last days before the exam, please sit and study these authors. Did you understand? Right. Now, E.V. Lucas's works, oh my God, there are so many works that he has written. But one of these, Old Lamps for New, is Charles Dickens's prose. Charles Dickens's work it is. So that is very, very important. And E.V. Lucas's works, it is not easy to remember because there are so many. Character and Comedy, Loiterer's Harvest, The Club of Queer Trades, Old Lamps for New is the one you should recognize because 1, 3, and 4, you can't recognize. There are so many. Charles Dickens's prose works, complete works of Charles Dickens, not only the novels, please do read. Look up in the internet. Pebbles on the Shore, again, collection of essays. Same as non-fiction writers' essays they are asking about. William Hazlitt also here, Robert Lind, A.G. Gardner. So in Telangana SET, we have to look up these non-fiction writers. Guys, including test coordinators who are watching this video, remember to look up these writers and practice. Then question from Neeraj C. Chowdhury. Early Indian literature, travelogues, passage to England. It is about his experiences in England, Anglo, English experiences of an Indian. Dale Spender, Man-Made Language. And look at these titles. Is it one word, 2 words, hyphenated? Like that they're asking. So they want you to study carefully, completely, not something here and there. Without, including punctuation marks, they're asking. And then, what is ambiguity? Again, criticism question. There is a conversation or exchange to check whether you know the English language, to check whether you know about communication, such questions. I like this question paper, in fact. They are very intelligent questions, in fact. Grammatical, gender, all these questions are available in the internet. There is still time. You should take a look at it. Now, semiotic studies, again, criticism. So criticism and theory, very, very important. They are actually checking whether you have understood the concept. Metaphors. Again, an English language question. So mugging up English literature is not what they expect of you. You have to understand concepts. You have to understand English language properly. You have to be in your right senses in the exam hall. If you are tired or nervous, or you didn't sleep for 5 days, you are mugging up English literature, you are sleepless in the classroom, exam hall, or you are nervous and afraid, that kind of a student cannot answer these questions. You have to be in your right senses. You have to relax, and you have to use your presence of mind. Pronunciation, they are checking. Which of these is not pronounced alike? Now, if you mug up English literature, you're not going to answer this one. Key and key, plain and plain, die and die, body, body. Challenging, right? Because we never expect, we think it will be mugging up questions, but these are not mugging up questions. So, about using a dictionary, very intelligent and practical linguistics questions, not theoretical, but practical questions they're asking. What is diction? Many times I feel like if you just have proper language knowledge, you will be able to pass this exam. Then they've asked about Kothari Commission. Then they've asked about a clause related to the Charter of East India Company, Magna Carta of English Education. Then again about English education in India. So 5, 6 questions based on English education. History of English education in British India, they have asked about. Lord Amherst. So many, even NET people will gain a lot of insight from this question paper. In NET, the same things will be asked in a different way, more difficult way. That is all. And there are many, history questions also. Frank Anthony withdrew his 1959 non-official resolution for the inclusion of English. Wow. So if you take a look at these questions, this is guidelines enough to study in these coming days. You still have 1 week left. Again, so many, I think at least 10 commission questions they've asked. And many author text questions. Who wrote what? And this is from criticism and also linguistics. In the match the following questions, even if you know 1 or 2, you will be able to understand. Catherine Belsey, critical practice. Like that 1 or 2, if you know, you'll be able to understand. Some are just intelligent questions. Again, coming to criticism they've asked. This is also criticism, post-colonialism. So Raymond Williams. So my intention, and then coming to theory questions are also there. People who are preparing for NET also, remember, these rare authors that they've asked are also important. So in this video, I was not going to anyway tell you all the answers. I've developed a strategy. I've told you what to look for. So what is the strategy in a nutshell? Look up criticism, look up classics, world classics they've asked. Look up a little bit of quotations, authors and major authors and works, including non-fiction. Very importantly, those who are preparing for Telangana SET, download these question papers from the internet, very easy to get. And then you should go through it. Even if you are doing our course in tests, still you should go through it. Today itself, we'll give you all these previous question papers. Just look at these questions, what are important, and read in Wikipedia or Spark Notes or any common website also enough, and prepare. Remember, some of these authors are repeated. Lionel Trilling, Raymond Williams, before also we saw. So this is how it is, guys. It is not a simple paper, actually. There are challenging questions. Many of these authors are not so simple. Erik Erikson, Justin Kaplan, Mary Jacobus. Maybe they are prescribed in our Telangana syllabi in universities. So there are terms also like this. Porno grammar, it seems. Carnivalesque is another term that everybody knows. Some are very simple and easy. Julia Kristeva. They have asked about symbolic and semiotic. Then Edward Said, they have asked about. Gayatri Spivak. They have asked about death of the author. Then they were asked about T.S. Eliot, who declared himself classicist in literature, royalist in politics, that one. Joel Spingarn. Benedetto Croce is what he has studied in his book, The New Criticism. I am glad that many of these are questions that we deal with in our NET and SET classes. So I hope you have got some idea. Don't be afraid in the exam. Keep your cool. Your presence of mind is very important, because sometimes they're just stressing you out. They're just trying to make you say the answer by guessing 1 or 2. You know, in match the following, etc., 1 or 2 you will know. The rest you have to guess correctly. Like that, questions are also there. So don't worry. You can prepare still. There is 1 more week. Follow this question paper, download more, and look up these authors and works in the manner that I just mentioned. You will all do well. If only in this coming 1 week, you study a little more with passion, with energy, with self-motivation. Okay? Utilize maximum time, do smart work. We'll be there to help you. All the videos are still there in YouTube. You can still watch them before the exam. Don't miss out a single one. Okay, guys, all the best to you. I'm there with you. Team Tess is there with you. And most importantly, God Almighty is there.